Welcome to the Long Run. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
What are we doing today?
Well, as you know from our video 2 weeks ago, we are doing like a kind of like a pantry challenge with our dinner meals. We're still buying breakfast and lunch foods and stuff at the grocery store, but we're only buying fill-in haul stuff for, and by that I mean like produce and stuff for our dinner meals, but we're trying to use what's in the pantry. And so what we thought is that each week we will show you what we actually end up buying. We will show it as like just a grocery haul in our house, but we're going to do that probably two in this video, and then in the first week in September we will show you what we will basically end it out telling you what we actually spent in August. So be sure to stick around for that. And we're going to now go into Aldi, probably going to go to Walmart, and we will show you those hauls in just a second. Before we jump into the grocery haul, here is how our meal plan looked at the time when we recorded this video. All right, guys, we are back with our Aldi haul. We actually bought most of our groceries from Aldi. We have a few things that we did not buy at Aldi and we're going to get from Walmart. But we had to go to Walmart for some other things anyway that you can't buy at Aldi. That's like in the toiletry section in Walmart. So we're going there and we're going to finish out the groceries there. This was actually $70 and I think 41 cents. I'll put it on the screen. So that's actually a lot for what would be a fill-in haul, but we actually have a reason for that. Let me get into what we bought and I will tell you when we get to it. I bought just one of these and I already have one that I just opened. And so between the two, it may last me more than 1 week, which is fine. Let me get into the cheese in a minute. First, we bought 2 bags of potatoes. We have 2 recipes that are calling for baby red potatoes. And like I said, even though we are trying to use our pantry supplies, we might still buy fresh produce to complete some of the recipes. Joel needed some strawberries. Well, Joel needed some fruit, and the strawberries were on sale at Aldi. And he also got some grapes, which are still a pretty good price at, I think, $1.79 per pound. And I got sweet potatoes for myself. I have those with like my lunch or something like that. Excuse me, my voice is still not quite what it was before I got sick about a month ago. Anyway, Joel is transitioning away from croissants into English muffins with his breakfasts. He doesn't mind English muffins, but he was getting the croissants, but he does know that the croissants are a lot of calories. For one, it's like, and these are only 140 calories, so that's why he decided to transition, was just to reduce the amount of calories he was having for his breakfast meal. All right, let's talk about the cheese. Okay, we did get this. This was 8 ounces, and that's Colby Jack. That was for a recipe. Now, did we need to buy cheese today? No, I don't think so, but here's what we saw. We saw that the price of cheese had gone up at Walmart, and it's still on an Aldi saver at Aldi at $1.75 per 8 ounce. And so it means that the price at Walmart at the time of recording this was more than the price at Aldi. But when I looked at it online, it was saying that the Aldi Saver would end in just a few days. So, and that the regular price of cheese was $1.99 per 8 ounce. And so that means that after the Aldi Saver goes away, it will be cheaper at Walmart, okay? But it also means that we would pay more for this. So we went ahead and bought the cheese that we thought we might need for the rest of the month, maybe longer. while it was still $1.75, because if we waited, we were going to spend about $1.97 to $1.99 for the same amount of 8-ounce blocks. So we went ahead and bought this just so that we didn't have to pay more in the next few days. All right, so we got cheddar and we got mozzarella for that reason, even though we didn't really need it specifically for a recipe this week. All right, chicken broth. I didn't have enough chicken broth in the house from my homemade, and I had to use up what I had. And I always keep 1 or 2 in the pantry just to make sure that I have some in case for some reason I don't get to make it. And I haven't been able to make it yet because I had a meal that called for the slow cooker, and I only have 1 slow cooker, so I couldn't do that. So I didn't need almond milk yet, but I'm getting close to needing it, so I went ahead and got that as well. We had a recipe that called for sour cream. We decided to get yogurt instead, and I will use that for some of my lunches because I only need like 1 cup of the yogurt instead of the sour cream. So the rest I'll use for myself in meals. Joel uses grits for his breakfast foods, and if we decide to make breakfast with eggs and stuff that we already have, we needed grits, and we just looked at it and we were like, that's not going to get us through a whole month with Joel eating it for breakfast too. So we went ahead and grabbed 1 of those. All right, here's the big thing that cost us a little bit. We grilled chicken, and we had a senior moment. We literally put the chicken that we cooked in a container to put in the refrigerator, got busy doing something, stuck it in a cabinet, and didn't even realize that we put it in a cabinet till like the next day around the middle of the day when I was reaching for something out of the cabinet and I saw a container of chicken in there and I was like, no! So yeah, we had to replace chicken that we grilled. So for that reason, this is costing us $25 more this month than we had planned to spend, but that's okay. We're still way under our budget. Right now, we've spent about $170 so far this month, but we still have 3 more shopping trips to make, plus we have to go to Walmart today. But one of the weeks is our vacation week, and where we're going has the meals included and everything. So we won't be buying as much that week, and so it should bring us in under our normal grocery spending. So here's our Walmart haul. Not much, as you can see, but we basically got some frozen broccoli that we can use with some of our recipes, so we make sure we're still getting in some veggies. We bought black beans, and we buy those at Walmart instead of Aldi because we can get no salt added, and at Aldi they don't sell a reduced sodium version for their beans. We also got some of this, and I eat that with my lunches a lot, or either breakfasts or something like that. So we got some veggie mix for that. Bananas, I prefer the bananas at Walmart over Aldi because every time I've gotten bananas at Aldi, they seem to go from green to brown, and there's no yellow in between. It's like, I don't get it. But anyway, so I just go ahead and get that. And then the eggs. Now, the price of eggs has both dropped at Walmart and Aldi, and currently a dozen eggs at Aldi is, in our area, is $2.25. But as we have stated before, keep your eyes open for price changes on eggs at both Aldi and Walmart, because Walmart just went down at the same time as Aldi did. And so to get 3 dozen, it was only $2.51 per dozen. And to get, if you get the 5 dozen at Walmart, it was $2.19, I think, per dozen. So definitely getting eggs in bulk is cheaper at Walmart currently as of the recording of this video. And so you want to make sure that you're not missing out on that. So always price compare eggs and cheese and stuff like we've mentioned already in the video. So that is all for this week. We will add on to the end of this video the haul for next week. Okay, so this is the next week. It's time for us to go in and get just a little bit of stuff. We are getting it all at Walmart because we have eye appointments in a couple of hours and we don't have time to wait for Aldi to open up at 9.
Yeah.
And that is just our things that keep the sun out of our car. Okay, all right, let's go in the store. Okay, before we jump into this last haul of the video, this is where we stood before we bought these groceries. And as you can see, we almost have eaten everything on our meal plan, which means we have to start going into our pantry and coming up with some other things to make. All right, and this is the second haul, or the second week's haul. We will do a video in a couple of weeks that will like summarize all of the hauls, like basically show you what we end up spending in the end. We haven't totaled it up, but as soon as I do, I will put that total on this video of what we spent so far. But I think we're about $80 or $90 short of what we normally spend. So we're doing pretty good because next week is when we go on vacation. And because it's a vacation that was paid by Joel's work, we're not taking food with us or anything. It's all being covered on the trip. So we'll buy a little bit of groceries next week for our son who's not going on a vacation with us. And so there'll be a little haul, but not like, we won't be buying anything for myself or Joel. Okay. All right. So this is what I got. I got some bananas, and I had to get like a bunch of different bunches because they didn't have one whole one that didn't have like dark brown spots all over it already. So Joel got some grapes. Okay, I'll talk about that in a minute. We got some of these chips for our son because we did a recipe that called for salsa, and we had leftover salsa and also some leftover queso dip. So we got him that so that he would finish those off and we wouldn't waste that food. And so he's eating that, the pasta sauce. We are going to start using some of this stuff in our pantry. And what I decided was, because I had ground beef and I had pasta noodles, that I would make some meatballs and spaghetti, but I did not have any pasta sauce or breadcrumbs. So that's why we got those two things. The bread is for our son's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that he eats a lot. Now, these things here, cream cheese, cherry, graham cracker crust, and Cool Whip, this week is Joel's birthday, and this was his one request. And so I got the things that I needed to make him a cherry cheesecake. And, you know, if you can't have a cherry cheesecake on your birthday, then that's just sad. So we went ahead and got it. Okay. All right. And this is not specifically for any meal, but like for lunches and stuff like that, in case Joel or our son wants to make some quesadillas. I got them some flour tortillas. This is my candy bar. And, yeah, I don't have to have these, you know, but I eat like a couple of squares a couple of times a week. And so I still have one whole one in the cabinet, but I thought I'm going to go ahead and get it this week. I won't have to get it next week because of the vacation. And so this should last me maybe the whole month. We'll see. And Joel, a French bread, because he likes to make French bread pizzas with that. And the reason why it's dark brown is because it is a whole wheat one. See, wheat French bread. But anyway, so that is the whole haul. I think it was $34.40. And like I said, we're still like $80 or $90 short of what we normally do. And next week should be a really small one. So then we would have one more week after that. So I feel like we'll end up spending about $100, maybe $150, maybe something like that, less than what we've been doing lately. So not too bad. And again, we'll put the total on the screen right here of what we have spent so far. at this point in the month. And tell us if you've ever done a pantry challenge. And if you did, what were some of the things that you came up with to use in your kitchen, in your pantry that you were able to make? We don't have a huge stockpile. We never have. So we had to buy a few little things here and there, but we have made a conscious effort to spend a little bit less, and it's been working so far. Tell us how that has worked out for you. And that is going to do it today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment below and tell us about your pantry challenges. And until next time, this is Christy with The Long Run with Joel and Christy saying, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace. Bye.